So welcome to my channel. So you want to learn how to design your very own professional looking resume. Well, you came to the right place. Hello, my name is Denise Jenkins-Agurs. I am a career consultant, a professional speaker, and an author of my very first book, Get Me Out of This Job, a no-nonsense guide with tips and suggestions to give you the courage to change your professional journey. Well, I wrote about how to design a resume in chapter 8 of my book called Does Your Resume Say Hire Me? Now, if you don't have my book, I need for you to go out to Amazon and purchase this dynamic tool to give you the help you need to take your career to the next level. So today I want to talk about some of the things that I've listed as that's important when designing your resume. So what I need for you to do is stop this YouTube video now, go get you a pencil and some paper because you're going to have to take some notes. All right. I'll wait for you. Welcome back. Now, I want to go over some things that's very important to designing a professional looking resume. Now, if you can't afford to hire someone to design your resume, then you certainly can draft your own with these wonderful tips that's in my book. The one thing that I want you to remember when designing a resume is that you want to keep it as professional as possible. There are a lot of templates that are online that you can use, but I want you to stay away from the templates that recommend that you put your picture on your resume. Do not put your picture on your resume. You know, in this day and time, there's still discrimination, and you do not want someone not to talk to you because they see that you're a certain gender, a certain class, a certain ethnic background. We don't want any discrimination. So don't put your picture on your resume. The other thing I do not want to see are these icons, these clip art that identify perhaps you're in the medical field. Don't do that. You just need a very clean and simple resume, and I'm going to help you do that today. All right, so let's get started. The first thing that I want to make sure that you put on your resume is your name. If you do not use your first name, then just use the first initial, your middle name, and your last name. Stay away from nicknames. We don't want Pookie and Ray Johnson on your resume. We want your birth name on your resume. The next thing I want you to remember is that back in the day, they wanted you to put your full address, your house address, street name, city, and state. The only thing that you need to do today is just put your city and state. All right, so you have your name, city, and state. Then the next thing that you need is a good working phone number, that has a professional voicemail. As you are looking for your next opportunity, I want to make sure that you are reminded to have a professional voicemail. Stay away from all that music. And if you don't like your voice, then use the automated system that's in your cell phone, that you're not available at this time. Please leave a voicemail message. The other thing about voicemails, please make sure you clear out your voicemail. The worst thing that I dislike is when I call someone and their voicemail is full. You're about to miss an opportunity because you failed to clean out your voicemail. So make sure you have room on your voicemail for someone to leave a voicemail message. But second of all, it's very important for you to check your voicemail, especially if you have been applying for positions and expecting someone to give you a call to say, hey, I want to talk to you about this available position. The other thing that I want to remind you about is your email address. I highly recommend that you develop an email address that's very professional. A separate email where individuals can email you, and when you're applying for a job, you put that email address in the system so it goes directly to that email so it's not mixed in with your personal email. I'm sure we all have done it, emailed someone, and then we had to find the response. So what I would like for you to do is develop a new email through Gmail. It's free and it's very professional. I've also seen email addresses that are inappropriate. Yes, I've seen some emails that says bigbootygirl@gmail.com. Inappropriate. So I want you to remember, we're going into this as a professional. All right. The next thing that I want you to think about when developing your resume is that there is not just one resume for all of the positions that you're applying to. You need to customize your resume to fit the position. I highly recommend that if there's a position that you've applied to, print out that job description. Have a folder. I know it's old school. Have a folder to keep all of those job descriptions in, or have a folder in your Outlook or in Gmail so that you can cut and paste and it goes into that particular folder. Because there is nothing worse than someone calling you about a job and you've applied for 5 different jobs and you're trying to figure out, who am I speaking to? So make sure that you somehow have a copy of that posting in a folder that you could put your hands on, so you can be and sound very intelligent when speaking to them about whatever position you had applied to. But remember, you need to customize. Did I say customize? Customize your resume to fit the position. So say, for instance, you print out a job posting or you see a job posting and it required you to have excellent public speaking, time management, project management. You need to make sure that those buzzwords, those keywords are a part of your resume. Now, you can put it in your professional statement, and I'm sure some of you are like, what's a professional statement? I highly recommend that you Google that, because your professional statement, based on the type of position you're applying to, speaks to that particular role. It has all the adjectives, all the action words that describe that particular role. You want to customize that to make sure it says, yes, I am the right person to hire. The next thing that you may want to have on your resume is summary qualifications. Think about it. Your summary qualifications are actually located in the job description. Remember when I talked about customizing your resume? That means you take those particular words and you make it a part of your resume. So you have subtitles. Summary qualifications is a subtitle, right? And you will bullet. Sentences are out. There is nothing worse than getting a resume. And I have been in human resources for over 25 years, and I would get tons of resumes and I would look at resumes and like, they're complete sentences. I don't have time to read complete sentences, but I do have time to kind of peruse through bullets. So your summary qualifications need to have bullets. All right. So if it says time management, experience in project management, you can put that in your summer qualification, because here's the tip. Here's the of what, when it comes to applying for a job, they have an applicant tracking system that has buzzwords. So they're looking for applicants that have those particular words in their resume. So I want to make sure that you start doing that. And remember, customize, customize, customize your resume to fit the position. Not one resume for every job that you're applying to. If you don't take anything away from this conversation right now, is that you customize your resume to fit the position. The next thing that I want to talk about are your education, is your education. So as a subtitle, it would say education. If you only have a high school diploma, that's okay. Put the name of the school, city and state, and diploma. If you have a college degree, put your most recent first. You do not have to include high school information. So if you have a bachelor's and a master's, your master's will go first. And that is just mentioning the name of the school, city and state, and the degree. Simple. Do not put the year that you graduated from school. Do you know why? Discrimination. You do not want someone to not choose you based on the year that you graduated from school. So we're just going to leave that off. All right. After education, education is your subtitle. Now we're going to go to another subtitle, which is computer experience. If you have computer experience like Microsoft Office Suite, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, indicate that. If there is a specialty type of software that is needed, for example, in accounting, project management, human resources, then put that down on your resume. All right. So we are just moving right along. Now, the meat of your resume should be your employment history. Let me say this, my friend. Do not lie. Do not fabricate or stretch the truth on your professional history. Some people call it employment history. I just love the name professional history. All right. And in your professional history, that is when you share brief information. They do not need a dissertation about all the years of experience. Remember, you only have to go back 10 years when drafting your resume. So here is an example. When drafting your resume, you need I would say the years. You don't necessarily have to put it all the way down to the month, the day, and the year. So if, say, for instance, you started a position in 2020, but you ended it in 2024, that's all you need. After that, the next line, you will put your title. And do not go crazy with the bold. All right. The only thing, in my professional opinion, that should be bold is your title, because bold draws attention to that particular word. So you would have your job title, then you would do a colon, then the company name, city, and state. That's all you need. Then the next line, you would use bullets. Remember, sentences are out, bullets are in, to do a brief description of your work. Now, if you are currently still working, it needs to stay in the present tense, not the past. Your past is the previous job, but stick to the present tense. All right? It's very important that you do that. That's it. That's all you need to include as far as your professional history, but you only need to go back 10 years. Now, there are those who perhaps have been out of the workforce for a good little while. I had this conversation with someone, and she was what I would consider a home domestic engineer. That's the word I used, a domestic engineer. She was a home manager. She managed her home while her children were in school. And she wanted to know, how does she explain that? But here's the thing. She was involved with boards. She was a volunteer at her church and had a role. You can use those in place of an actual W-2 type of job. This was volunteer work, but you were dedicated. You went in certain times of the week, and it was a job, but it was just on a volunteer basis. To me, that is one of the best way to fill in that gap of what we would consider a professional job. All right, that was a job for you. All right, so those are the things where you want to fill in the gap, but do not lie why you weren't working. If you decided to stay home and raise your children, that's what you did. If you decided to stay home to raise or not raise, but take care of a sick family member, that was a job. Think about that particular role. You managed the budget of the home. You provided a clean work environment, a clean residence, excuse me. These are things that you can put in as a job as it relates to professional history. And last but not least, your volunteer service. Wherever you at volunteer, please make sure you go ahead and put that in, because it shows philanthropy. It shows your willingness to help others. Go ahead. If you belong to a fraternity or sorority, by all means, please put that in. You just never know. The person that might be looking at your resume may be a part of your organization. I'm looking now just to see if there's anything that I left out. Yes, there is something that I want you to think about. I know that we're in the age of using technology, but what if you go to a networking meeting? There's a couple of things that you can do. You can have a physical copy of your resume. Be mindful of the type of paper that you use. There is resume paper. You know that? Resume paper. But I want you to stay away from the actual white paper. I want you to use a very soft cream color. Stay away from all the pinks and the blues. I like the manila color. And the reason why I say stay away from white is because what is the color of all working documents? They are white. And you do not want your resume to get mixed up with someone's work that's sitting on their desk. The other thing about resume paper, it is when it comes to the texture, make sure your hands are clean because it will pull the oil from your hands and attach it to that paper. Now, these are just a few tips, again, that can be found in my book, Get Me Out of This Job. I want you to be so prepared for this opportunity that you just really blow their mind before ever meeting you. Remember, your resume, along with that application that they receive, is the very first thing that they see about you before they even have you come in and interview. Remember, I want you to take your best, have the best foot forward. I want you to just wow them ahead of time. And again, in my book, it teaches you that. All right, so that's all I want to say. I thank you so much for watching this video. If it provided the tips and tools that you need, hit like and share. And please get ready for additional suggestions of some professional history that I'm going to be bringing to you soon. You have an amazing day. Knock their socks off with your awesome resume. Until next time, bye now.